All right, we are live. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not live yet. Oops. All right. This time we're live on time. Are we? Oh no, I have no idea actually. Oops. Let's give it a check. I think we are live on time this time. Yes, we are. Okay, so let's get a quick audio mic check and everything done. Hopefully it should all be okay this time. I was testing it extensively today. Sorry. I've got your chat up. And I've got my notes. And we're ready to go. We've set another all-time high today. So there's a lot to talk about in this one. Hopefully you can see my face. Hopefully it's lit well enough. And just waiting for you to... Yes, I am in Dubai. That's the Burj Khalifa behind me over there. Yeah, that's the Burj Khalifa. I might actually be taking an office there. Haven't decided yet. All right, perfect. Good. Let's get straight into it. So Bitcoin has set yet another all-time high today. We ended up peaking above where we previously topped out at 34.8. We ended up rising up to, this is in the very early hours of today, we ended up rising up to 35.9. Once again, getting rejected at another classic psychological resistance area purely because 36,000 is a round number. If we look at the OHLC, specifically looking at the high, we can see that we topped out at $35,868. So we're definitely looking at continuously getting rejected at psychological resistance areas. And right off the bat, that's telling us a lot about where this market is in its current state. Guys, the fact that we keep getting rejected at psychological resistance areas means that this market is being driven off none other than psychology. And obviously that's not surprising, but when we ask ourselves what kind of psychology is driving this market up, obviously the answer is a little bit concerning and has always been. So I'm going to keep reminding you about this. I'm not a bear. I am in a long position right now, so it's not like I'm trading the downside, but I am going to keep reminding about this because I know that a lot of people are making a lot of money very quickly these days. And I feel like a big part of what I need to do is hopefully help traders ground themselves and come back into reality, because this is not healthy, isn't healthy at all. But we'll talk about that later. For now, it looks really good. Chris Atherton, new offices? Yes, it is. This is the new FORFLIES HQ, and it's okay. It's nice. It's definitely more interesting than what we used to have in London. So definitely a nice space. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit later. Bitcoin has peaked above its previous all-time high, and I just want to take a look at how Bitcoin did this, because it's actually a little bit more impressive than what meets your eye at first. We originally topped out at 35k, and then we came down to test 27.8 as support, and then bottom. Look at this, we found a double bottom at the 30k range. This is huge because Bitcoin actually established support at the $30,000 level, which is really useful. We've tested this quite a few times now, guys, and each of these times, for the most part, we have actually used this $30,000 level as support, and I'm really happy with that, because we have, and again, it's a psychological area, so this doesn't really come as a surprise. I'm really happy with that, because last time the psychological resistance at 20,000 was a really big deal for Bitcoin. We topped out there and triggered a 4-year bear market or something like that, 3-year bear market. And we even topped out there originally with our trend. Remember when we were predicting this trend, by the way, we were comparing this to what happened in 2017, and the analysis I was giving you guys back there was absolutely spot on. Definitely a lot of you guys making money on that, so shout out to you if you have made money on that. Last live stream, I made a big deal about hitting 60,000 subscribers, but it's actually today that we're going to hit 60k. So if you haven't already subscribed, then please do that. You'll be getting more updates like that, where we were absolutely following this to a T. This was beautiful. But now we have made use of this area as support, which is absolutely great, because this is a psychological area, and to see that it's now essentially like an ally for us, I'm really, really happy. This is a very, very good sign for me. It's making me quite optimistic because I think that this could turn out to be quite a useful floor if, you know, like the worst case scenario were to happen and Bitcoin starts dumping quite a bit from here. But here's the deal. Broadly speaking, Bitcoin pumped a lot, and it pumped very quickly when we tested these lower levels. And this is no surprise. Everyone was waiting for a dip. This was the dip. And now we're trading on higher to new all-time highs. And obviously, with the psychological state that this market is in right now, as soon as these moves up start happening, we are looking at a pretty easy ride all the way up to the other psychological area. So obviously the next main one is at $40,000, and after that $50,000. These are the two targets I have, mainly 50,000 or somewhere close to that. Call it 47.5, I think is pretty sensible in my opinion right now. And I think that now that Bitcoin has entered this kind of price action again, it's ready to go parabolic. But it's not the star of the show for me. As you can see, the title of this live stream is all about Ethereum, and I think Ethereum is about to trigger a massive exponential rally right here. You know, the good news, guys, is that Ethereum wasn't trading exponentially higher. It wasn't in a parabola up until very, very recently. If we look at these candles on the daily chart, we only really started going parabolic when? On the 2nd of January. So this is only 4 days ago. And since then, we've been trading upwards every single day, which is also not sustainable. But this is super important, guys, because all the while that Ethereum was trading between $400 over here and $800 over here, it didn't really have a lot of resistance. And now it has zero resistance. Look at this. See where these green lines are? Above these green lines and above this green line specifically, there's no resistance left. We're getting topped out. We're getting rejected a little bit at the 1230 level. This is why we're struggling in the low $1,200 region right now. And that's purely because there was a double top right here. But Bitcoin did the same thing. Let's take a look at how Bitcoin broke the all-time high. Look, there was a top over here. Let's drop a horizontal line so we can measure exactly where that was. And we can see, if we zoom into the very small time frames, Bitcoin saw very small problems at this price area. I mean, this is a minuscule rejection. I'm sorry, this is absolutely the wrong place. We saw a very small rejection at this area, didn't really have much of a problem. And because Ethereum very clearly right now is following in the same footsteps as Bitcoin, in my opinion, I do think that it should be quite easy for Ethereum to continue to rise higher from here. Ethereum is facing very similar resistance to what Bitcoin was facing, and Bitcoin made very, very quick work with it. So this is also just a psychological area of resistance as far as I'm concerned. And then the next one really is the all-time high, because as it goes with parabolic trends like this, we don't really trade in these areas for a long time. If we measure how long we actually traded above, you know, like this green line at $800, we only traded above this level for about 80 days, or actually a lot less than that. It was probably closer to about, I don't know, 55 days that we traded above this green line. So there is really just, and this is a big range. This is between $800 and $1,400. This is $800 of price action where there was where there wasn't much trading. And so there wasn't really an opportunity to establish any resistance. And even at that, any of the resistance was probably around here. As you can see with this blue line right now, which represents our current price, there's nothing. There's nowhere to find resistance for Ethereum. And this is what really excites me, because seeing that there's not much resistance with the combination of the fact that Ethereum just entered a parabola 4 days ago is telling me that it could be ready to moon and do something pretty spectacular. And this is all with the caveat that I'm understanding that this trend is stupid and dangerous. It's very, very bad right now. It's very unsustainable. Ethereum is not a small cap shit coin. It's a pretty sizable. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's still number 2 as far as all of the cryptocurrencies go. And yet still within, I mean, I don't even know how long it was, but within just a couple of days or something like that, maybe a week or something like that. Oh, okay, a month, my bad. Whatever, we've done, you know, like a 100% gain, you know, right here for the past 20 days, we've done nearly double of Ethereum's price. And so we're definitely in some sort of mania right now. And that does make the nature of these kind of parabolas is that they end when they end and no one really knows when it's going to. And so opportunity takers, they'll be jumping in at these kind of times, as I have as well right now, and be sitting in pretty nice profit. So I'm already in a very nice profit. I don't actually know what the number is. I can check a little bit later, but I'm happy with how this is going at the moment. And Ethereum definitely looking pretty beautiful up here. And like I said, with no resistance up ahead, I don't think there's any reason that it shouldn't be able to breach its all-time high that it set previously. It's doing it. It's, you know, I mean, it's so close to it. Bitcoin has already done it. As I said, I was expecting Bitcoin to lead the market and then Ethereum would follow, and it has exactly as predicted. Shout out to Chris Crypto for coining this catchphrase. I guess he didn't coin it, to be honest, but for making it popular. Exactly as predicted, Ethereum is rallying up massively, and now if we switch to the Bitcoin chart, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, we can see that, as I predicted as well over here, Ethereum has now began seriously outperforming Bitcoin. Every time this chart goes up, it basically means that Ethereum is rallying, is performing better than Bitcoin is. And right now we can see that for a long time, Ethereum was performing worse than Bitcoin, but we had the first spike over here, the first spike over here, which I highlighted to you very recently, and I showed you that I think this was the start. We fell back down to our prior low, and now we've blasted up. So this is showing us that right now the trend for Ethereum to potentially become stronger than Bitcoin might be reversed. Ethereum might be getting weaker compared to I don't know what, you know what I'm trying to say. Ethereum is probably getting stronger compared to Bitcoin right now, which is absolutely great. So as I go along, guys, please continue to drop your questions in the comments. It's a little bit hard for me to see, actually, because my laptop is blocking it. Wise says, I love no resistance. Yeah, me too, mate. It's really, really cool. As I'm going along, continue to drop your questions in the comment section, and I will be looking at them obviously a little bit later in the stream. But right now, the key things to mention, really, Bitcoin breaking the all-time high, and actually, yeah, I mean, making use of this level at $30,000 as support is a really, really big deal, and I don't want to be underestimating this. I don't want to, I want to make sure that I'm actually making as big of a deal out of it as it is, because I think this is a really, really big deal. And if we look at things like the Ichimoku cloud right now on, I believe, the 1 hour, if not the 4 hour, what have I done there? Have I signed out? Okay, give me a second to fix this. That's annoying. Helps that I don't. All right, we're back. I'm sorry, I did have a small issue there. Technical issue now resolved and back up. So just dropping that in the comments so you guys live know what's going on. So what we do have with Ethereum, with Bitcoin right now is this beautiful Ichimoku cloud here on the 1 hour time frame. It was support over here, briefly turned into resistance, and what I want to highlight to you is that on the 1 hour time frame lately, we've been making really good use of this Ichimoku cloud quite well. It hasn't really failed us at all for quite a long time, going back as far as mid-December, which is pretty good for the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame is obviously the most aggressive, most short-term time frame. This is definitely highlighting where it's been useful as support quite a bit throughout this trend already, and as a result of that, I would expect that if Bitcoin does come down to this level again, we can expect a pretty nice bounce, and actually it'll be in keeping with this trend of setting higher highs. Take a look at this, highs that just keep on getting higher. Look at this, keep on getting higher highs, along with lower lows as well. So this is absolutely spectacular. Couldn't have asked for anything better as well. This overall trend of setting higher highs and higher lows is absolutely beautiful, and I don't expect it to go anywhere as well. So I'm really, really happy with this performance right now, and I do expect it to make use of this Ichimoku cloud, and if it does, I think it could turn into a very nice entry position for more long positions. So this is something I'll be interested in. I actually mentioned a little bit earlier that I'd be planning to take on my next position inside of the VIP group relatively soon, and I've done that. Like I said, I've done that earlier today, just very recently. It's still close to my entry level, but already at a very nice profit. I think that's going to continue because look at these altcoins. This is just blowing up amazingly. You guys remember just a few live streams ago, I was talking about Cardano and how I was expecting it to rally massively. I told you that if Cardano would breach this green line, then it would probably breach this green line. So shout out to subscribers of this YouTube channel who were aware of this analysis when I said it. If you were aware of this and you made some money on this move, then congratulations, that's a very, very big deal. It actually exceeded my expectations. It went above this resistance level and it topped out right here, which is another resistance area for Cardano. So this is really, really cool. Again, guys, this is the really, really classic no chart. Oh, I'm showing you my face. Okay. Oops. I'm stupid. Thank you for... I'm really sorry. Yeah, so back to Cardano here. I mean, you heard what I had to say, so at least at least you know what's up. But with Cardano over here, what I was showing you was this green line, these two green lines that I painted for you guys, and how it has made very, very good use of this. Oh god, these comments. Oops. Yeah, so I painted these two green lines in the last live stream, and I was talking about how this line was potentially an area of resistance, but this was essentially a vacuum. And if we were able to breach this first green line, we would probably reach the next one. And that's exactly what we did. We ended up... By the way, if there are ever issues like this, just send it to me on Telegram, because I don't monitor the chat until I do questions. So I'm always seeing the chat. I'm always seeing the Telegram. But yeah, if I mentioned that if we do breach this green line, we'll probably meet the next one. And that's exactly what we did. We ended up teleporting between this range. And I just want to highlight how much of a big deal this is. A lot of people are like, yeah, technical analysis doesn't work. It's too difficult. It's not easy to trade with TA. But look, this is a really, really big range. This is a 16.8% range on this chart, which is absolutely massive. This is a really, really big deal, 16.8%. This is a big move in the market. And if you were able to expect this and you use some basic TA rules, then I think, I mean, it could have turned out to be a very, very good range. Like I said, this is something I was planning on trading. I just, after the 2-hour live stream, I was just exhausted and I forgot to. But it's something that I usually do trade. It's exactly the same thing actually in concept that I was trading on Ethereum constantly. This big gap between $400 and $800, I was trading constantly with Ethereum, booked a lot of profits on this, 90%, over 100%, 60%, and so on. Really, really big gains on Ethereum. It's the same things I was trading with Bitcoin. I was trading the gaps between $12,000 and $17,000. I was trading the gaps between $24,000 and $28,000, all on the same premise that I would expect us to kind of just be sucked up like a vacuum. Obviously, it worked best over here, but in both cases, over here I got like a triple gain or something like that. On this trade, it was a quadruple gain. It was massive, 385%. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't remember what the profits were. They're really, really big. They're triple-digit gains, over 100%, purely from trading these gaps. And this is all about, look, you either know these gaps are there or you don't, and crucially, you know where to expect them or you don't. And so this is, you know, like we bring this back to trading because obviously we're all traders here. This is where it's really important to be able to identify where these opportunities might be in the market, and we have a very, very good example of it happening right here, where Cardano usually doesn't spend much time trading in this range. I highlighted to you that many times Cardano would teleport from one side to the other. Look at this, teleport from one side to the other, and then from one side to the other, and so on. And it only faked out. It only failed over here and over here. And so it has a very, very good reputation for doing this. And so I mentioned that it'd probably happen again if Bitcoin starts doing something a little bit boring, which, I mean, it is rising, but it did do something a little bit boring because it isn't rising quickly at the moment. And so for Bitcoin traders, for crypto traders that have a low attention span, this is huge. And the reason I started showing you this is to show you where the opportunities are in the market. Look at this. I mentioned Link blowing up, and I also told you in the last live stream that if Link is able to break this level, if Link is able to reach this level, I would expect it to break this level, because this area, in my opinion, was not strong resistance. And so Link was able to fly past this resistance level, and it's already approaching its all-time high as well. So this was also very, very clear. It's quite obvious if you've already got your charts laid out. This is a Fibonacci retracement. The 0.236 level is usually the least, strong level. It's usually the weakest Fibonacci level, which means it can be penetrated very easily. And so it only took us 1, 2, 3 attempts to break out. It only took 2 failed attempts, and on the third try we broke out above this 236 level, and we're quite a bit above it. Again, just to put it into context, this might not look like a lot, but Link has already traveled 7%, and from its high, it's already traveled nearly 11% above this. I'm sorry, this calculation is wrong. it's already traveled 10% above this resistance area, which is huge because, again, a 10% range is massive. Obviously, I'm making all of these trades on probably not 10 times leverage for Link, maybe 5 times leverage, but that's still a 50% profit. Now, I didn't trade this particular opportunity, but the point is, if you're aware of these things and you know where they're happening, there's a lot of power in that. And actually, in this live stream, I wanted to show you a testimonial from a VIP member that was that I have to slow down for. Actually, this guy ended up sending me an absolutely beautiful message. I want to thank you and tell you a little more. From 16 to 19, this person used to be a drug addict because he felt that he didn't fit in the bad system we all live in, and I completely sympathize you with that. He mentioned a couple things that I'd like to skip over, but yeah, you can read that. And then on the day he basically saw Bitcoin and learned everything about TA and becoming clean. 4 months later, he basically started learning about TA. It was on point, and his trades, however, they weren't able to keep up with how good his analysis was, and he ended up losing more than $15,000. I'm assuming this is dollars on good analysis, but his stress levels are becoming very low as a trader since joining VIP, and now making over $36,000 as well since joining. So he's given this money to his parents. He's making it for his parents, and trading being less stressful is obviously an absolutely essential part of being a good trader. If you're stressed out, then it means you won't really be able to focus on making good trades and committing to good ideas. A lot of you, I'm sure, have been there, where you'll have a very good trading idea, but because you're stressed out and you've lost money, you don't really have the confidence to enter it, and so you don't, and then you see that it just skyrockets without you. I'm sure there's been a lot of that recently, and this is something that this particular VIP member has been able to avoid, and then mention if I wanted to use this in a video, then that's good for him as well. So and then a final thank you for the confidence I've given him in his trades. So this is an amazing message. It's really, really special. Obviously, there have been a lot of people that won inside of VIP and hit it big, but this guy, I think he's probably taken the cake, or he's up there, turning a pretty nasty situation into a shitload of money, more than double what he lost. And now not even feeling stressful with it. This is the thing that's really exciting. This VIP member right here, he's the same guy I was telling you about who took our yearly membership back in March last year when the market was way more boring. Showed me a 500% gain, making $113,000, but more importantly, mentioning that he's turned mentioning that things are just getting started. This is what's really... This guy, I told you about how he actually started with 30k, so I'm not sure what he's talking about here. Probably a little bit later he added some more money in, but this guy went from an initial investment of $30,000 to $750,000 in 10 months after joining VIP. And the thing that's and this guy, he has the advanced course, he has everything we have to offer. He's been in VIP now, well, for 10 months, which is absolutely amazing. Shout out to this guy. He's probably our best performer in VIP. No, he's somewhere close. He might not be the best. I think he is, though. And mentioning that things are just getting started, and this is what's really, really exciting. There's so much more upside from here. It's ridiculous. And upside not just with the market trending up. This is really important. You know, the market can go up, the market can go down. It doesn't really matter. These markets, if they go down, I'm going to go short. I'm going to trade the downside. I'm going to make money on the market going down. You guys saw me doing that all throughout 2018. I've been making videos on this stuff for like 3 years now. So you guys know exactly what's up. You've seen me doing it in the past as well. But then even if the market does continue to trade up, which is obviously what's most likely, there is a lot of opportunities to make money. So when this guy joined, the market was super boring and he still turned these results. Absolutely amazing inside of 10 months, and knowing that the market right now is way juicier is insane to me. It's absolutely mind-blowing. So if you want to get inside of VIP and find out what these people had access to turn these results, then the steps are on screen right now. You can pause the live recording and click on the first link in the description down below. That's going to take you to my free Telegram channel. There's no sign-up process. There's no downloads required or anything like that. and then click on the @FORFLIES button, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP, and you'll be able to get the content that these guys had access to. A really big part of what I teach is about how to not be stressful as a trader. It's actually a lot easier than you think, by the way. A big part of it is just planning things out in advance and then committing to those plans when the time actually comes. A lot of people have serious problems with that, and when they see me doing it in real time inside of the VIP group, and then I'm explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing and things like that, it becomes a lot easier to understand the principles behind these ideas. This guy over here turning a 368% profit, a 235% profit, blowing up his account at 1.9 BTC, mentioning that the only thing he wishes is that he had more money, but that he put more money into these trades, but then correcting it, I think, by mentioning that capital preservation is king. So not only has this person made a shitload of money very, very quickly, but he's still prioritizing healthy trading. And this is what really, really excites me. It also goes back to this guy who mentions that there's a lot less stress levels for him. You know, these people are trading very, very safely and still making really big gains. And this is what's really, really exciting to me. Another member over here who's just pretty new to the game, mentioning that he's getting into the swing of things now, already making really nice profits, $600 on Link and another $700 on Light, 75% up, 25% up. I see your messages about joining VIP. My assistant is online and he'll get back to you very soon. If you're interested in finding out what these people had access to, then once again, the steps are on screen. But let's switch it back to the analysis for a minute. And one of the things that I want to highlight to you once again is the descending triangles on Bitcoin. This is a big deal in my opinion, and I want to talk about it a little bit more. I've already talked about it recently, where Bitcoin has been forming a lot of descending triangles throughout this rally and then breaking up, and we've done it again. Look at this. If we take a look at the trend lines right here, and I draw for you this descending triangle right there. Look at that, super obvious. Bitcoin ended up forming yet another descending triangle. And if you don't know what a triangle is, by the way, it's widely considered to be a bearish sign. It's got a 66% chance usually of breaking down, and then a 33% chance of breaking up. And in a lot of cases, in almost all cases lately, Bitcoin has been forming descending triangles and then breaking up. There are a lot more instances of this. So there was one over here. I'm not drawing them very well right now. I don't need to. It's just to prove a point. But, you know, Bitcoin has yet again ended up breaking out of another descending triangle, which is absolutely huge. Take a look at this. I mean, I don't need to replay this chart anymore because we know what happened. But I think this is a really big deal. Bitcoin will continue to paint bearish patterns like this, and it will continue to look potentially dangerous or scary. But the fact is right now, the market sentiment is extreme in the bullish direction, and I keep going back to this terrible analogy of this high school crush, but I can't find anything that's better. Or I guess a better analogy might be that, you know, you've absolutely fallen in love with a car that you want to buy, and it can have oil leaks, and if you're not a car guy or a car woman, and having an oil leak for a car is a really big deal, and it's a very common problem. You know, I mean, it can have oil leaks, the fucking wheels might not even be there, like, you know, the steering wheel could be missing, and if you love the car enough, it won't deter you from buying it. And that's what we're seeing right now. You know, we have completely unreasonable, completely unrealistic price action on this chart right now. And even in the face of bearish patterns that we are continuously drawing on this chart, we are still pumping through the roof. And I think that's a really big deal. This is representing to us yet again that bearish signs, things that are potentially bearish, are at worst just neutral. And at best, well, it's still a 33% chance of breaking up. And we just seem to keep on flipping heads in this case, you know, where it's not likely that this is going to happen, but we just keep doing it because this market is so bullish. So the reason I want to highlight this to you is, if you've just learned what descending triangles are and you've just learned what these chart patterns mean, then you might be putting too much importance on them. But right now, this is the time where it's okay to break certain rules like that, in my opinion. Only in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot. But in my opinion, it's a really important time to start putting that stuff to the side, because right now, anything that's bullish will trump the market. It will be what blows up. And we're seeing that very clearly right now. You know, in a normal market, in a neutral market, and definitely in a bearish market, things like this would be quite bad. We have a very good history with Bitcoin of descending triangles actually being really problematic. Let me show you two of them, just two. We had a big one over here. Look at this. You guys probably remember this. A lot of you guys were around since back here. We had this descending triangle, which absolutely tanked the market. We ended up falling out of this descending triangle, testing our old areas of support as resistance, then doing it again and dropping all the way down to 3,500. This descending triangle was disastrous for the market, and we had an even bigger one when the bear market actually began in 2018. Look at this descending triangle. This is the one that absolutely everyone was talking about, and my goodness, when we fell out of this one, we halved. The price of Bitcoin halved. And actually, by the way, in both instances, FORFLIES viewers would have been aware of these things, and especially at this point I was even trading it. I don't remember if I was trading this move, I can't remember that, but I did trade this move. It was a drop of about 50% and I made a 60% profit, so didn't outperform the market by too much, but I did still outperform the market, so I'm pretty happy with that. And like I said, this is where, you know, even if the market starts tanking, there's still so many opportunities, which we go back to this guy's testimonial mentioning that he turned 60k into 750 and it's just getting started. It absolutely is just getting started. There's still so much more upside potential here from a trading perspective. It doesn't matter if the market goes up or not, because I can just go short and trade the trends down. But we've had very disastrous descending triangles for Bitcoin in its past, but these were in markets where it just wasn't destined to trade higher. Right now though, at all-time highs, it's not easy to make that same argument. And so the fact that we keep pumping out of these descending triangles is a very clear show of, from a realistic technical point of view, there are times where you need to prioritize some tools and you need to put other tools in the back seat. You need to push them to the side. Or at least I need to, definitely not you. This is what I need to do. And these are examples of how I'm doing it. I'm seeing my assistant replying to all of your inquiries about VIP, by the way. If you want to get the information right now, he's copy pasting the information right now. So you can follow these steps on screen and you'll get the information in less than 10 seconds right now. So there we go. That's a very big deal. And I don't want to I want to make sure that I make a big deal out of it as well, so that we can understand how important this is. And actually, on the flip side, Ethereum has done the same thing in reverse. We're actually seeing, and this is where it's even more important for me, definitely, is we will get a lot of signs that are bullish in these markets as well, and we will make very good use out of those bullish signs. Take a look at this one. Ethereum was forming an ascending triangle over here. We established some resistance at this area. What was this area? This was about 1,120, where we established some resistance, and after we broke out, we even came back down to test this area, and then we started flying, and we're at new highs for about 3 years, which is absolutely beautiful. Very close to this all-time high, guys. Just to put this into perspective, just to show you how easy it is to reach that all-time high, which I've been talking about since below $400, to reach that all-time high. Just to put it into perspective, we are how many dollars away? I mean, it's like just exactly $200. Yeah, $216, 18% away from breaking the all-time high. And by the way, just in the past 3 days, we've risen by 55%. So there's a little bit of psychological resistance up ahead, but Bitcoin's already broken its all-time high, and the market is super bullish. And we know how greed works. Once again, if you're a regular subscriber of this channel, shout out to you, to those of you who are. I just want to see, by the way, how many subscribers are we at. I'm super excited for 60k. It's a big milestone. We're very close, just 150 away. So if you're not already subscribed, please do smash that subscribe button and the like button as well. But what we have in this market, and I've been talking about this constantly because this is a very strong theory that I have, which proves itself to be true continuously, is when people make money in the big markets like Bitcoin, they will start to feel very good, and the default state of mind, the default emotional state for a trader, for an investor who's made money in a safe market — Bitcoin is not safe, but crypto traders believe it is, because compared to other cryptos, it's very safe. But the people who end up making profits in safe markets will then start to feel a lot of greed. That's the default state. And you know, if you've just turned $10,000 into $100,000, you've just turned 20,000 into 40,000, you turned 3,000 into 6,000, 200 into 400. You're going to be feeling really good about yourself, and you're going to start looking at new ways to make money. And that usually means putting your money in new, riskier markets, which are similar. And so Ethereum is a similar market to Bitcoin because it's another cryptocurrency. and it's also a riskier market, and riskier markets also tend to have better returns on investment. We can see that very clearly. Ethereum up by 8% today, while Bitcoin is only up by 5%. So Ethereum definitely outperforming Bitcoin right now, and not coming as a surprise either. So we have a situation here where people have made a lot of money in Bitcoin. They're starting to diversify. Regular subscribers, you've probably heard this a million times by now. These smaller altcoins, Ethereum included, they have a lot of potential to rise, because if only a little bit of Bitcoin's cash flow goes into, as Bitcoin doesn't have cash flow, if only a little bit of money goes from Bitcoin into altcoins like Ethereum, like Cardano, like Litecoin, like Link, it's going to blow those markets up, because these markets are really small compared to Bitcoin. So just a little bit from Bitcoin will do a lot to these markets. And I think that's really important to keep in mind. It just puts into perspective how easy it becomes to actually blow up your account if you keep these in your mind. So Ethereum definitely following in those footsteps right now, seeing a very, very small dip in the market as it stands right now. Hopefully we can test some support areas once again. I don't really know what's going to happen, but it doesn't matter. Still super optimistic about this, because we're following through with a lot of those key ideas, and then we take it back to this ascending triangle I've just shown you, and this is a very typical, very classic bullish chart pattern that we've painted on Ethereum, and already serving us quite well. We've already ended up breaking up how much? We've 6% to our current price and to the high. These are pretty substantial breakouts already, considering this is happening inside of like what, 7 hours that we hit 8.3% profit, which is really impressive. I mean, these markets are moving very quickly. I mean, this was the kind of gain, just this, by the way, just this. Let's zoom out and look at what happened over the past month or two. Like, just this is close to what you would get in real estate in 1 year. So, I mean, at least it would be guaranteed in real estate. But, you know, just to show you, just to put it into perspective, how much quicker you can make money in crypto. And when you start applying leverage to this, this is where the fun really starts, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not recommending it because it's super risky, but this is where it really does blow up, and it turns into something where you can create wealth. Because an investor, look, put it this way, I don't know what you believe of Bitcoin. You know, if you think Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 or 1 million, doesn't really matter. It's going to take time. It's not a definite thing. Unless you believe it's a definite thing, then you do you. But, you know, like, I don't really have a strong opinion on this stuff. But look, I'm not willing to bet on these kind of things. And what I know for a fact is that as a trader who's a little bit more regular in this market, who I don't have to spend a lot of time analyzing per day or trading per day, literally just like 5-10 minutes a day. These live streams are long because I'm explaining everything. But broadly speaking, these are not long processes. And so not having to spend a lot of time on this and just applying a little bit of leverage, learning how to do it safely, and then doing it safely, and VIP members being able to watch how I do it in real time. I'm telling them exactly what I'm considering trading and then what I'm committing to trading and different things like that. This guy, once again, going from 60K to 750K in the space of 10 months since joining VIP. All super valuable stuff here. You know, this is exactly where I think the gold mine is, because you stand to make a lot more than an investor, and you stand to make it far quicker as well. As long as you can do it safely, it's one of the best tools I've ever found. That's why I've been sticking to this for 3 years now. It is 3 years? Yes, it's 3 years now. Yeah, I've been leverage trading, and for nearly 4 years I've been actually trading normally. So, you know, it's a no-brainer for me. Definitely a no-brainer for me over there to stick to this kind of trading. Let's see what else my analyst wanted me to take a look at, and then he's, you know, the other things he wants me to highlight basically is that you know, this kind of price action on Ethereum, it is, I've already said this, I mean, it's pretty extreme. It's happened really quickly. It's not sustainable. It doesn't, but the problem is, even though it's not sustainable, it doesn't mean it's a good idea to start betting against this trend, which is why I haven't taken up a single short position at all over the past couple of months. Only long positions, only long positions as a rule, because these markets are punishing people who trade against them, and I don't see why I should step in front of this train. So while I believe quite strongly, and I've been saying it for a long time, that I don't think this price action is healthy, I'm still trading the long side. This is really important. I still think that there's money to be made on the long side. I just don't think that it's safe and sensible, but it doesn't really matter. This is just how crypto is. So I think that it makes a lot of sense what we are seeing right here. As we go along, I am ready to take your questions, so drop them in the comment section down below. I really hope you are enjoying this live stream, and if you haven't subscribed already, that you do that. Where are we at right now? With the subscribers, yeah, so got a little bit to go, but if you're not already subscribed to this channel, then please do so. It does help out, and obviously I do try to make this this content as grounded as possible. I want it to be very realistic for you guys, so that you know, like a lot of people, they're moon boys. They think it's going to go up to the moon forever, and you know what? I hope they're right. It's going to be amazing. I hold a little bit of Bitcoin. Everyone holds a bit of Bitcoin, so hopefully they're going to be right. But at the end of the day, as a genuine trader who trades quite actively in these markets, I think it's very important to stay grounded and realistic with your analysis. So I'm going to just show you. If you have any questions, please tag me like this for questions so I can see them, because if you don't tag me in this way, it's actually difficult for me to tell if you're asking me a question or not. So if you do it this way, you can nearly guarantee a response from me. So pretty much from there, I'm just ready to take your questions. New sub done, thank you very much, Kev. What have we got here? Bitcoin is like a child on a sugar rush, not healthy and crashes quick. Yeah, very applicable analogy there, Harris. I think that makes a lot of sense. James McClin, FORFLIES, do you think ETH will ever go below $1,000 now? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. 100%. It's possible. Will it happen? I don't know. But you know, just look, I mean, we're what, 20% away? We're 18% away from dropping below $1,000. I mean, Ethereum will do 18% in a day. So absolutely it's possible, but I don't know how likely it is. It depends if this breakout really sticks. If this breakout sticks and we pass the all-time high, then yeah, we might be saying goodbye to sub 1K for Ethereum. You know, it's very rare, by the way, guys. It's very rare that you will pass an all-time high and then you'll fall back below it. Very rare. Especially for Bitcoin, very rare that Bitcoin will fall below a previous all-time high after it's already broken the all-time high. It might do it for a day or a week or even a month, but it's not going to stay there. Very rare. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Anything can happen, but it's not something I would be betting on or anything like that. How do you know when the bull run is going to be over? You don't. Usually just ends in a really big crash like this. And but the problem with these crashes is that they look like normal crashes, and by that point you're so euphoric that you don't really question it. So we've already seen crashes like that. Look at this one's pretty extreme. It's not massive, but again, you know, just this is all about perspective, putting it in perspective. This happens really quickly. All within the space of 13 days Bitcoin drops by 40%. I mean, it's nearly halved inside of 14 days. This is pretty scary for a lot of people, but obviously this tends to be the bottom. And you know, crucially, we end up seeing this happening over and over and over, where Bitcoin has really big corrections. Look, this also dropped by 40%. I know this doesn't look like a big deal to you guys right now, but living through a minus 40% crash, just pause the live stream and try and imagine it, where you've got $100 and now you wake up a month later, you wake up 13 days later and you're $100, and $100 is all you have to your name, and you wake up 2 weeks later, less than a fortnight later, and your $100 has turned into $60. I mean, that's bloody terrifying. I'm sure, unfortunately, more of us than we would like to believe have gone through those kind of problems in life and in financials. And so this is really hard to live through. But crucially, I'm explaining to you the psychology of how this happens. And by the way, last time I explained this was with the S&P 500, where I correctly predicted over here. No, I think it was over here. Yes. I correctly predicted somewhere around over here, maybe it was over here, that the S&P 500 was not going to enter a bear market. I think it was right here, where I said that the S&P 500 was not going to enter a bear market because everyone was saying it would enter a bear market. And crucially, these bear markets, they only come when the market has topped out so many times and suffered 40% correction so many times that it's defied odds continuously, you know, and just, you know, visualize this now, where you've seen the market go through so many intense highs and lows. You've seen the market nearly cut in half in the space of a month, nearly cut in half in the space of 13 days. You've seen it happen so many times. Look at this. This would have been terrifying. But then each time the market recovers, I'm just showing you one over here. There's another big correction right here. Let's put this one into perspective. Bitcoin down by 18% in a couple of days, down by 14% in 2 weeks, down by how much? This is hard to show you now. Down by about 35% in the space of about 10 days over here. It really defies odds. It defies your expectations when it has these kind of dips. And so it's done that so many times, and you've lived through them, and not over the space of 10 seconds like I've just shown you really quickly here, but over the space of months, if not years, where it continuously defies all odds. And it really should have I got an issue with my live stream? Oh god. Okay, that's fixed again. I'm sorry. Was that going on for long? Because I just got an assistant from my... I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know how long that was going on for, but thank you to my assistant for for calling me. So I knew that was happening. Where it's been going on for a really long time, where Bitcoin has been... Oh god, that's been happening for a while, hasn't it? How long? Oh, only a couple of minutes. How long was it? Yeah, only a couple of minutes. That's fine. That's okay. But Bitcoin continuously defies expectations. I need to change my hotkeys. This is really bad. Bitcoin defies expectations, and it ends up... Yes, I've done it, Dan. I know, I've done it. Do I need to call you? Let me text him. I've done it. Thank you. It defies expectations, and are we good now, by the way? Yes, okay, good, we're good. It ends up crashing and defying expectations many times, to the point where it happens at this time and you just think it's standard procedure. This is what happened. We ended up getting this dip. It was a really big dip from $20,000. We crashed all the way down to $10,000. This was our standard 40% correction. We did it in the space of how long? Just like a couple of days, right? Just 5 days we crashed 40%. But at this point, we've made so much fucking money. We're feeling like kings. We're feeling like queens. We're absolutely loving life. Bitcoin has trended up so massively. It's dropped down to 11k. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, we were only there 10 days ago, so it doesn't feel like a big deal. We were only there 20 days ago. Is it still black? I'm still getting messages. It's fine now. No? It's fine? It's in... Yeah, it's fine. Why is everyone... wish you well. We're not in the same building, but in Dubai, the connections here are terrible. They're absolutely a joke, and that's why Blackout TA is next level. That's why we are actually having these issues. So I mean, we're all taking measures to make sure it goes smoothly. I'll talk to Chris to see how we can... It's fine. Okay, good, because I'm still getting messages minutes later about this. Okay, good. And so, you know, like at this point, just explaining the psychology of why we end up getting these crashes again. What we had over here was Bitcoin ending up seeing this really big correction, and we're just thinking it's standard procedure because we've already seen this happen many times. Once again, over the course of months, not just days, not just hours, but months, we've seen these really big corrections happening, and that means at this point we think it's just standard procedure. And then it looks like standard procedure because at this point right here, we actually end up trending up again. And so it looks like the correction is done. The correction is, you know, has already been reversed for the most part. And, you know, the other key thing I want to highlight to you guys right now is, you know, just because you probably think, oh, those people are really stupid right now. Well, look, we've done it before, and because we've done this so many times, it looks like standard procedure. Bitcoin has a big crash, it recovers, has a big crash, it recovers. And again, you know, really important to put these things into perspective. From high to low over here, it crashes by 33%. $100 turns into $66. That's still a big crash, right? And this happens within the space of 10 days, and then we recover. And so over here, we get another big crash, minus 35% in the space of 16 days. And again, we can see that actually the market has ended up recovering. And so all the while, this happens so many times that people start gaining confidence each time that the next time the market sees this big crash, because it did it the previous time, and the previous time before that, and the previous time before that, and so on and so on and so on, you start gaining confidence that the next time it's going to continue rallying up. And guess what? you're right. You're absolutely goddamn right. It does. It does end up rallying up, and then it does it again, because the next time, you've already seen the last time it recovered up, I made some money on it, so let me do this again. We've dipped down, I think it's going to recover up, and you're right. It does recover up until eventually it stops, and that's where we get these massive market cycles kind of ending. And so to answer your question from 10 minutes ago and an embarrassing black screen, this is how bull markets end. It ends when there's a lot of confidence and a lot of people will and you know, the market should have dropped and a lot of people feel like it should have dropped and it had a lot of reasons to drop, and then it doesn't, and then it doesn't again and again and again, and then people start being right when it continues to not stop. You know, like the market should have stopped, and you know, and then they start betting on the market going up, and then it does go up, and that happens a few times, and that's when the market crashes, and that's when the market ends and turns into a bear market. So super important. I've lived through it. Most of us, some of us have lived through it as well. Shout out to those of you who have subscribed as well, but also lived through it as well. Dermot, you mean Du and Etisalat are awesome? No, I love you, UAE government, but I think they're fucking terrible. I think they're a joke, and we need more competition in this country with some of these government-run companies, because competition will really force them to be a little bit more competent. If anyone in the UAE government's listening to that right now, listen, you've got a lot of famous people coming here, you've got a lot of YouTubers coming here, we're bringing a lot of money, we're bringing a lot of whatever notoriety to your country, and we need like facilities to do our stuff, you know, and you know, the good thing about the UAE is they fix these problems really quickly. So I remember I was talking to the crypto YouTubers the other day, and they're like, yeah, if there are some regulations that need to be done for a new blockchain thing, then the government departments mentioned that they'll bring out regulations in 2 weeks. It'll be done in 14 days, and you'll be able to start your business. Whereas in the West, in the UK, in the US, it might take like 5 years and still being debated, right? And so you know, this is a really good thing about this country, this city, especially Dubai. It moves very quickly, so I have faith that they'll fix these problems quickly as well. Buildings get constructed so damn quickly over here. Everything happens quickly here. People are moving, people are working, and so I have faith that it's going to be fixed, but it needs to hurry up, because yeah, you've seen some of the problems we have. It's worth it, don't get me wrong, but it's it's a little bit annoying. So let's just make sure everything is fine again, and I'm going to continue to go through your questions. What is my average % difference between a breakout line and my today trade in today's market? I won't go into my average. That's something I usually share in VIP, but what most people would consider is 1% above a breakup level or 3% above a breakup level. But I won't dive into the details of what I did today, because that's just for VIPs. Thoughts on Cardano ADA? Do you think we'll see a new all-time high? I don't know about new all-time high. I think that's really far away, but I don't remember. I think it's really far away. But I will look at Cardano a little bit later. It's just on a big pump. I don't really want to touch it right now. FORFLIES, opinions about big whales moving huge amounts out of Bitcoin and turning into a huge drop like previous years. What? Hang on, let me read that again. Opinion about big whales moving huge amounts out of Bitcoin and turning into a huge drop like previous years. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's probably going to happen again. Yeah, that happens all the time. The big holders are usually the ones that dump, and again, it's the CME market that actually started dumping Bitcoin when the big bear market started in 2017, 2018. So it's always the big holders, it's always the rich people that end up dumping it, and it's when you know, things end up getting kind of out of hand. So absolutely, I think that that's something to keep in mind. Don't know when it's going to happen. Like I said, it'll happen when we reach irrational exuberance. But you know, when we're there is hard to say. I think we're far away right now, but you never know. What do you think about moving to the UAE? Well, so far I love it. It was the biggest choice I ever made in my life, and it's the best choice I've ever made in my life as well. It's absolutely great here. It's there's everyone seems to be here right now. Everyone with impact in their spaces, they seem to be here, and For a long time, I've been saying that LA is my favorite place on the planet. It still is, but Dubai is making me reconsider that a little bit. It's absolutely great. There are some small problems which are really big problems that you don't experience in the West, like for example, absolutely terrible Wi-Fi infrastructure. But it's worth it, and the good thing is these things are getting better. So. I'm quite happy with it. You know, like the politics and stuff is fine. You know, like I don't pay taxes, so why would I care? You know, like it's not for me to say. In the UK, I'm paying like half of my income away. Yeah, I have a fucking say with the taxes. Yeah, I want to have some impact there, and they're still corrupt. You know, so I think it's super worth it to be here. I actually, if any of you guys are interested in moving to the UAE, I can put you in touch with a company that can help you with that process. Can you come back on? So the chart was enough. Okay, can ETH Bitcoin back to level 0.14? I'm not going to look at the ETH Bitcoin chart too much for analysis today. What do you think is a realistic price for Ethereum to cap at in this cycle? I have no idea, Charles. I don't do those kind of predictions because I think they're a waste of time. I think Ethereum can definitely break the all-time high, and then I think it can go a lot higher, like $2,000, but I don't know where it's going to top out. It could top out at 5K, it could top out at 20K, it could top out right here and trigger a 5-year bear market. You know, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to trade it anyway. Is it worth planning and preparing for a short setup now, especially if you're not in the market? I can't tell you that, Nav, but I have zero interest in going short anytime soon right now. Jaxie up. Did you guys hear that? You probably heard that. He's got a speeding ticket. I don't even know what that was. This is the thing I love about it. I'm hearing like V8, V12 engines all day behind me. This is the best office I've ever had. This is the third office we've had. The third, the second, the first one in a new country, the first one in a new continent, and this is my favorite one so far. This is really cool. The London office was cooler in terms of its infrastructure, its Wi-Fi, stuff like that. Yeah, it was cooler. It looked a little bit nicer. This one has the view. You got the Burj Khalifa behind me. These Lambos driving past every single day. It is inspiring as hell. I love it. Just want to say thanks for the consistent content and informative videos. Thank you so much, Bobby. That's amazing. Really, really thank you for that. That's very, very nice to see in the comments. Jaxie, to answer your question about how do I use leverage, it's obviously it's quite an open-ended question. I've got a course on that which VIP members get access to. So if you want some details on that, you can reach out following these steps. And one of the key things I do, as this person highlights right here, is I teach all about the steps right from the beginning, assuming you only know how to click a mouse and you understand English. I teach. Oh, by the way, we're going to add subtitles to it, so even understanding English won't be required later on. We'll be expanding the team again to do that relatively soon, but we'll probably go for Arabic soon, I think. But one of the things we can do as part of your VIP membership is bundle together one of our courses for free, and this member over here definitely demonstrating how this guy didn't really know what he was doing, and now he's getting into the swing of things, understanding how to use this very dangerous tool and actually having fun using it, making some really nice profits as well. We cover a lot of content that runs you right through from the beginner's content of not even knowing what trading means, not even understanding the concepts, don't know how to send or receive Bitcoin. We cover all of that as well. And then we start teaching you about how to use these leverage platforms. We teach you about key things to be aware of, key things to avoid. And then we dive into technicals. We dive into best practices with TA, teaching you about individual tools, teaching you how to navigate this website that I'm using right now where I do all of my analysis. There's a lot that goes into it. So if you want to get the full list, you can reach out, and like I said, we'll bundle it in together with one of our VIP subs. I'm seeing a bunch of messages again for people who want to join VIP. Taking advantage of this. Very recently I mentioned that we passed 570 members, and I said we passed 850 and then 860, and I believe today we've passed 870 as well. So maybe the real bull market is inside of VIP members making their money. How much is a liter of petrol in Dubai, and what's my Twitter handle? So my Twitter handle is in the description. It's Sami_loyal, SAMI_loyal, like loyalty. And how much is a liter of petrol? We'll put it this way, I don't know, but I do know that for my new Ferrari, which obviously has a massive fuel tank, it is less than half the price to fill it from 0 to full, less than half the price of a full tank of my Porsche in London. And that Porsche has only a 2-liter engine. It's a very small, it's a very fuel efficient car for a sports car. And obviously it has a smaller tank. And that car cost me more than double in the West to fuel up. I know that fuel is cheap in America because of all of their wars, but it's definitely super cheap over here. Like, oh, what is it for a full tank of a Ferrari? Mine's a Portofino. I think it's like £40, 200 dirhams for a full tank, maybe something like that. Maybe 150 dirhams, maybe like £30. It's super cheap. It doesn't even matter. It's like water over here. What do I think about? And by the way, that makes it really impressive to see a lot of Teslas around anyway. What do I think about XRP? It's shit. FORFLIES, my available balance in Bybit is negative while I'm in a trade which is in the green a lot. Is this dangerous / liquidation? That definitely sounds dangerous, but I don't really know what that is. So you're going to have to ask support about that. What else have we got here as far as questions? Make sure you're tagging me so I actually see this. Do I stack Bitcoin or USD? Both, but I prefer USD. ETH short setup around the launch of futures on CME for prep. I don't think so. I don't think that that Ethereum is in pressure is going to be under pressure if futures trading becomes a thing. I don't think that's a huge concern right now. Just scrolling down to catch up with your questions. Yeah, really sorry for the screen issue again, twice now. Really sorry. And Daniel saying I'm so cute. Thank you. Someone saying come back to London. I think I'm okay right now, mate. I'm not particularly interested in going back to the UK as it stands. Yeah, no, I'm okay. What else have we got here in the comments? Ready to take more of your questions, as I said, so if you've got anything, you know where to drop them. Be doing more live streams on a regular basis. I'm also going to do more regular videos because I know that, you know, a lot of you guys probably can't sit through hour or 2 hour long videos. Steph, FORFLIES, do you know something about the UK ban on crypto derivatives starts today? Is it legal to use Bybit? It's illegal for Bybit to offer it to you, but it's not illegal for you to use it if Bybit is offering it. That's my understanding. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I saw from reading the legislation, that's the case. But UK is a joke. I'm sorry, I hate saying it. Actually, it's heartbreaking. I make jokes out of it because that's only my coping mechanism. This is really sad. It breaks my heart every single day saying that country go to shit. What I do know though is that, like, between you and me, sorry to the government. Most UK people are still going to be trading derivatives. They won't care. FORFLIES, what's going on with Ethereum right now? It's pumping. I'm in a long trade on it right now. It's going very nicely in my opinion. I'm not concerned about this little dip if that's what you're talking about. How long do I think this bull run will last, Andrea? No idea. Let's see how long the last one lasted. It was like 2015. It started going until 2017. Let's measure this on the logarithmic scale so it's a little bit easier to see. This is where the lowest low was set, or I suppose it was over here, but let's use this one. And it lasted 845 days, and this was our lowest low over here, and 845 days would put us at about, what day is this? What year? Oh, it's not even on the chart. Okay, that's awkward. Would put us where? Still doesn't say. Apparently my chart can't go that far. Well, it's probably like June, July of 2022. I don't know if it's going to last that long. This bull market's really quick, guys. This bull market is moving really quick. Really quick. Hasn't even pulled back yet. I don't know, this shouldn't be exciting you guys. It's not exciting me. If we measure it from this low, which was the bottom of our bear market, then actually we're pretty close to the end. It'll only be a couple more months if we're gonna have the same length of a bull market as last time. Usually they get longer. Each market cycle will get longer, but they also usually get less aggressive. So I don't know if that's going to be true this case, because this isn't less aggressive. It's probably Chris's Lambo that went past. It might be. Chris and Jack, they drive. Put most of my life savings into ETH today. No comment. Huge dip just happened. This isn't huge. I don't know why you guys are losing your mind over this. Let's zoom into this. What do you mean huge? Look at this shit. This isn't huge. Nothing happened. Calm down. What in your mind will happen to ETH in the next 24 hours? Don't know. Hopefully it goes up. I'm in a long position. Do I hodl crypto or do I just trade? Both. I think we're at the end of the questions. Is Dubai cheap? Well, if not in the tourist areas, then yes, it's pretty cheap. You can eat well for what, like £5? You can eat pretty well. Have a meal for £5. Living costs are pretty good for good standards as well, all over the city. You don't get taxed on your income too, so you keep a lot of it. And salaries are pretty good. I think they're pretty close to equivalent of what you see in the West. So. Yeah, it's good standards here, and it's not expensive. So, unless you go in the touristy areas, and then yeah, it's really, really expensive. What else have we got here? ETH dropped to 1,000, did it? Did it wick down to 1,000? No, it didn't. Oh, you're saying you want it to? Okay. Well, it might find support over here. Hopefully, it does. But I think we're out of questions now, and I should get going because it's past midnight. So, what is the rent for about 3-bedroom flat with a view? That depends on a lot of factors like location and luxurious level or whatever. But I don't know. I would imagine if I had to ballpark it, 3-bedroom. Really depends on your area. If it's like a low-key area but still in the city, then probably like £2,000 a month, 2,500 US or something like that. Pretty good in my opinion. My thoughts on Lotus Evora. I don't like Lotus cars. I'm sure they're amazing, but I'm not a fan of them. Is CBD legal in Dubai? Nope, nothing like that. Don't bring it in. Too dangerous. Don't even think about it. You'll get arrested. Don't even bother. What stable coin are you planning to use to exit at cycle top? I won't use a stable coin. I will go straight into real fiat. I don't know why people use stable coins. It's so weird. Thanks for your content. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe button. This live stream was a little bit shorter than usual, but we're so close. We're just 100 subscribers away, so that might even happen tonight or just very, very soon, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, look, the market is correcting. I just fucking hit my leg. The market is correcting a bit, but it looks like we've just gotten a bounce. So if this bounce sticks, I'm super, super happy with it. If it dips a little bit lower, that's going to mean some trouble for my position, but I'm not too worried about this. I don't really watch these things when I'm already in a position. I've just got alerts, and as long as the alerts aren't triggered, I'm sleeping like a baby. So let's do I have an account in Etoro? No. I might make one, but no. Do I advise I buy now? No, no advice. Thanks. Did you hear of Monarch Group? They're heavily invested. No, I haven't heard of Monarch Group. Check ETH. I'm checking ETH. Are you not taxed in Dubai? There's no tax in Dubai. I'm not really going to go into my situation, but yeah, I mean, I live here now. Guys, if these small dips worry you, you're leveraged too high. Yeah, shout out to Painkiller. He knows. These things should not worry you. I mean, what is this? This is nothing. This happens like, how many times has this happened today? You know, like just over the past few days. This kind of stuff. Like, come on. What are you talking about? Big dip. Shut up. This is no. You know, this is stupid to get worried over this. What is this like? Down by $1,000, down by 3% in like the most volatile market ever, where like just in the span of 2 days we've ended up pumping by 30%. Now we're down by 3%. Come on, man. This is nothing to worry about. This shouldn't be worrying you guys. This is if this kind of thing worries you, you're spending too much time analyzing, you're spending too much time trading, and you're probably the opposite of this dude who ended up joining VIP and lost a lot of his stress, and its stress levels went down a lot. This is what VIP members see. You don't need to watch the charts all day, or even, you know, like multiple times a day to make money in the trading game. You know, like it's super laid back for me. My plan is defined. I've already said it. I'm just going to commit to the plan. As long as things don't trigger any alerts, I don't really need to do anything. You know, like it's super laid back, and that's where you'll end up making the most money. Ask any successful trader, any. Just go on the next YouTuber's live stream, DM a bunch of crypto figures, and ask them: is being relaxed better as being a trader? And is it better to spend less time analyzing? And I'm pretty sure almost all of them will say yes. Like universally, every trader I've spoken to has confirmed this. Your dreaming balance on my account, I don't know, 10 mil would be nice. 10 mil is yacht money. I want a yacht. Yeah, so I think that's really important. I mean, you know, I know that it's going to be really, I didn't get stopped out. Nope. I know that it's going to be really difficult for new people to pay attention to these kind of things, but it's, you know, like once you've seen it enough times, and you know, you need to be busy with other things, whether it's family or work or something else. You know, like if Bitcoin is your only hobby and you're just looking at charts all day, you're probably going to make way less money than if you just didn't pay attention to it. You know, it's not the productive way to trade. You know, a lot of you guys, I should record like a day in the life vlog one day, like a day when I'm actually trading, because I don't trade every single day because I don't need to. Not like I don't need to because I'm rich. No, I don't need to because the market isn't healthy enough to trade on that given day, for example. And if I show like, or I don't know, I put it on Twitter or something, you'd be really surprised at how little time I spend trading. I should do that one day, maybe even like a 24-hour live stream. I think, yeah, that would be interesting if enough people are interested. That's the kind of stupid stuff that, not even stupid, but crazy stuff that a lot of people might enjoy. How to sell larger amounts of Bitcoin into fiat? OTC desks. Find where the OTC desks are in your city, and they'll send it straight to your bank or something like that. All right, I think I'm pretty much done here. So if you have enjoyed this live stream, please once again shoot up those likes. Once again, subscribe if you haven't already. And and I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna do a video next time. We'll take a small break from the live streams. What I think I'll do is I'll just reserve these live streams for when there's really interesting price action, kind of like this over here or something like that. Today we have had interesting price action, but not super interesting. So I'll just wait for the really big days, and I think that's when I'll do live streams. But most days I'll probably just stick to regular analysis. Though, having said that, I really hope you've enjoyed this. Live streams are my personal favorite. I just know that they're not as engaging for everybody else, and it's difficult to listen to. I mean, we're going for like an hour and 10 minutes now, so it's difficult to stay for this long. And I want to thank you for that if you have been watching since right at the beginning. Once again, final time, if we can shoot up those likes, subscribe if we haven't already, it really does help the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. How do I work on self-doubt? I've made 10 correct calls and not gone in on any. That's a heavy question, Priscilla. I think you asked a very good question last video as well. That's a heavy question, and there are like 5 different things you can do to start tackling that problem straight away. But I think it's for another video. I understand that you probably want to hear an answer very quickly though. So the short answer, just a few off the top of my head: trade with less money. I would trade with less money. Actually, I can't say you should. Trade with less money. Probably trade with paper money. Take a break. Keep a trading journal. Those are some of the key things that come to mind. This question was, just to be clear, how do I gain confidence in my calls? Because this person made 10 correct calls and didn't trade any of them. You know, there are a lot of things going wrong. Obviously, you've lost a lot of money and you've lost confidence in yourself as a result of that. And there's a lot of little issues you got to tackle. And those, by the way, are exactly the type of things that I I am regularly talking about inside of the VIP group. This is more than just analysis. This is more than just me telling you what I'm trading. It's also me bringing from the shadows to light some of the key issues that traders regularly face and showing you how you can tackle them, or how I've tackled them as well, and really dissecting these problems, breaking them down to their roots so you can understand why these problems are there, and then giving you practical steps that I've followed to break those problems as well. But that's a very good question to end the live stream. Actually, by the way, Priscilla, I forgot your last question, which I said I'd make a video on. So if you can message me on Telegram and send me that question as well, just mention you're Priscilla from the live stream, because I wanted to make a video on it and then I forgot the idea. So just message me on Telegram and tell me what it was, and I'll make a video on that. All right, I hope you have enjoyed this one, guys. Got a beautiful view of the Burj Khalifa behind me. It's been an absolute pleasure on the live stream once again. I'll see you all in the next video.